What's going on, friends? Gary with Ras Group back in another video. Today we're going to be talking about this. This is a second dot coming from Vortex. This is going to be the Venom 3OA enclosed emitter red dot. Let's talk about it. Alright guys, so the Venom enclosed emitter red dot, this is very similar to the Defender ST that shares some features that I like. It has some features that I don't. We're going to talk about it. Real quick, few disclosures here. I am a fan of the guys over at Vortex. I consider them friends of mine. They did send this to me for free. I like to think I still provide a pretty unbiased review, and I'm sure that you guys will be interested to see some differences between this and the Defender ST that just came out. So, let's talk about it. Alright guys, so let's get into some of the features of this. First thing is we have an enclosed aluminum housing, right? Instead of the 7075 aluminum housing, we have a 6061 aluminum housing, right? A little bit of a difference there in my mind. So we have a large viewing window. It is a pretty large window. Not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Try to get the dot in view for you if I can. I don't know if oh, you can kind of see it right there. There we go. It has an asymmetrical lens for distortion-free sight picture. I think what they're trying to get at is reduce parallax or no parallax at all. I don't know if no parallax is actually possible. And it does have a motion activation with 10-minute auto shutoff. Automatically activates with motion, while 10-minute auto shutoff saves battery life. So it has a shake awake feature. That's pretty rad. As far as I know, guys, this is going to be one of the most affordable enclosed emitters coming out on the market. And to me, that's one of the biggest pros about it is at the $200 price point, $199.99. That's pretty rad in my mind. So, guys, I go through the features to tell you that I would still choose the Vortex Defender ST Solar Enclosed Emitter Red Dot over this one. That was released last week. That's the one that I would go with. This one's being released this week. Personally, I would pick the Defender ST. I think that the 7075 aluminum housing is much better than what's being offered on this model. I think the window is slightly bigger. I think the solar/battery powered option is great. I like that the MOA dot size is slightly smaller. What I did notice with this is I feel like you can almost feel the reduced cost in this red dot compared to the other one. First off, my mounting hole screws were a little bit of a challenge. You'll see one is recessed deeper than the other. Both of them have caught threads. However, one wouldn't actually go down as deep as the other one. I don't know if that's a machining error, if I got a prototype, what the deal is, but that is something that I noticed. The housing itself does feel kind of not as ruggedized as 7075. I don't know a good way to explain that, but you can almost feel it. I don't like the top-mounted brightness adjustments. I do like those better on the side. I think that is a better location for them. I do like that the battery cap is recessed. However, I don't necessarily like this battery cap. I don't know if it's a different in the manufacturing components as far as the hardness of the housing goes. But for whatever reason, I was losing my dot under recoil when trying to zero this gun. Made it very, very difficult. And I dumped a lot of rounds through this with no avail until I finally figured out that this had somehow came loose. I tightened it down. I haven't had an issue since. Now, I don't know if it's just mine. I don't know if other guys have had issues too. But based on what I've seen with this and my personal experiences, it's hard-pressed for me to recommend this over the Vortex Defender ST Enclosed Emitter Red Dot, which I've had nothing but a pleasurable experience with. So I love the people over at Vortex. I'm very grateful for them sending this out to me. I love that it's coming in at a price point that a lot of people will be able to afford, around the $200 mark. However, I would lose a lot of credibility if I didn't own up to some of the issues that I saw with this, and you can't really, no matter how much free product comes my way, no matter how much money somebody could ever send me, which I'd much rather take free product over money, because free product I can generate content, money. I'm going to be honest, I don't really have an interest in getting paid to do reviews. It's not a service I've ever advertised. It's a service I never will advertise, and it's not a service that I will ever see myself getting involved with, right? I think it's the kind of unspoken rule is that if a company wants to hear your thoughts on a product, they send you that product, and you give your honest opinion. Well, this is my honest opinion. Like I said, I really like the other offering from Vortex, the Vortex Defender ST and close emitter red dot. This one, I'm not so much a fan of. I think that the other option is the way you should go, and there's really not a whole lot more I can say in regards to positivity about this. Once I finally got it zeroed, it hasn't lost zero. I guess that's worth saying. The windage and elevation adjustments on mine are pretty tactile. I did like that. But that's about it. Guys, I'm going to throw some B-roll in here at some point. I strongly suggest you check out the other option from Vortex, the Defender ST and close emitter red dot. Again, this was sent to me free of charge. I'm giving my honest thoughts on it, and hopefully Vortex understands that this is just me being honest, and I'm not trying to put anything down that they're putting out, but my experience with what they sent me wasn't the greatest, so that's what everybody's going to hear about. I still support Vortex, still run Vortex on all my stuff. This option in particular, it's just not for me. I've had too many issues with it to recommend it. So hopefully you guys find this worth your time. Hopefully you guys take some value out of this video. And you guys stay safe, stay trained, stay rad. Check out all of our sponsors, and we'll be back with the next one.